Hi, my name is Alicia Kaysen. I am here to do project number 2 for module 2, which is inheritance of polymorphism. All right, we're going to start with my magic interface that I have created. So the public interface is magic. This interface defines the magical abilities that any character can possess. Any class, in this case, the parent class that we will be talking about next, that will implement this interface and must have the good and bad methods in order to, basically work. Here in this section, I have imported an array list and scanner. The array list because we're going to put our objects into the list, and then we're going to have the scanner because we're going to be able to basically have inputs instead of doing hard coding, just having like numbers already. So back to the interface, I'll put public interface magic. The two fields that I have created was good magic and bad magic. And we're going to see them being used here. So I have created a parent class, and the parent class is called Wand Wielder. All right. So this is the parent class, Wand Wielder. This is the abstract class, and it serves as the parent for all magical beings that I will be creating, because it's going to be a Harry Potter theme. It implements the magic interface and defines common attributes and methods, and that are shared by all subclasses. So the 3 attributes that, at least with 2 different data types that I have created, we're going to do name, string, house, and int power level. And there's going to be the protected because we're going to be able to access these in the child classes later. So for the constructor, we're going to have the string name, house, and power level. This name, this house, this power level. We're going to have our getters and our setters. So if we return the name, we're going to set the name, set house, get house as well, and return it. Same thing for the power level. We're going to have our getter and our setters for our power level. All right. So the first custom method that we created is to calculation with user input. This is an abstract method that will be implemented in the child classes. So the abstract method that we have created will be the calculate spell power. And again, that's with the scanner. We're going to be able to input it in those child classes later. So the second custom method will be to modify the object state with the user input. And this is an abstract method that will be implemented in the child classes as well. And this custom method is called modify power level. So we have int power change. I don't think I said anything about this one, but yes, int spell difficulty. Right. So now we're going to our toString method. So we're going to use the word override public string to return the wand builder name, house, and power level. The override is so that way we can have unique settings later on in our child classes. But for this one particular, this toString is to return the name, the house, and the power level for each one that we establish later. Hope I'm explaining that right. Okay, so we have implementing our interface methods. Again, we're going to use that keyword override and basically the good magic. And we're just going to put good magic that we got for our interface right here. It's going to print out the name. So it's going to get the name. And it's going to print out cast a protective charm, boosting their allies. Again, we're going to do this also for bad magic. And it's going to print out, this time, the name, cast a dark spell, weakening their opponents. So the first child class that we're going to go to is called Witch. So child class 1, or the first one, is Witch. It extends the Wand Wielder class and adds a unique attribute called Potion Proficiency, which we'll get to. and it overrides the parent's methods to reflect a witch's unique magical attributes. So first thing I'm going to do public class, which extends wand wielder. That way it can inherit some of the things from wand wielder. Inherit, not some of the things, but inherit those methods in those fields. So we have public witch, string name, house, int parallel, and int proficiency. So these, the keyword super is calling upon those methods from wand builder. Instead of putting them in ourselves, the only custom field that we have is the potion proficiency, but we're going to call upon our wand builder, basically, what we already established in our parent class. So this potion proficiency equals potion proficiency. So we're going to get our getter and our setters for our unique field that we have created, which is to get potion proficiency. So we're going to get it and set it, so we're able to return it and things like that. Here we're going to override the custom method that we created in our parent class. So calculate spell power. So the witch's spell power is boosted by their potion proficiency. So we're going to use double total power. So we're going to get the power level plus the potion proficiency is going to be times by 0.5 and the spell difficulty by 0.2. Once we get that input from the user, it's going to print out the spell power with the name it's calculated to be. And it's going to give us the total power, and it's going to return that total power. We're going to override the second custom method that we created, which was modify power level. And it's going to get the witch's power is more easily modified by potions, reflecting their expertise. So it's going to get the power level. It's going to add the power charge. And it's going to print out in the system the name at power level that was modified by the power change. So it's going to get the new number of what the power has changed. And it's going to basically say new power level. We're also going to override the two strings that we created in the parent class. So it's returning the two strings of the parent class, and it says which with proficiency, and so we're going to get that potion proficiency. And it's calling upon the two string method in the parent class in this override method. That's why we have the super, because again, like I said, the super calls upon those methods that were already made in wand builder. All right, so our next child class is wizard. So our child class 2 is wizard. It extends the wand wielder class. It adds a unique attribute, which is going to be dueling skills, and it overrides the parent method to reflect a wizard's unique magical abilities. So same thing, it's going to override the parent class, but this is going to give the unique attributes for now the wizard class. That's going to be different from witch. Well, slightly. Not. Okay. So the public class wizard, it extends wand wielder because this is the parent. This child is going to inherit those things. So we're going to set up our unique field, which is dueling skills. We're going to do the public wizard string name, string house, int power, and int dueling skills. Again, super, so because we're calling upon those methods, name, house, and power level. We're going to set those dueling skills, and we're going to get those getters and those setters for dueling skills. All right, we're going to override our custom method again. This time is for the wizard's spell power is boosted by their dueling ability. So this time the power level is going to be times by 0.75. Spell difficulty 0.5. And it's going to print out the spell power for, and it's going to get the name, and it's calculated to be, and it's going to give us the total power. For the second modified power level, it's the wizard's power is more resistant to change and can be influenced by duels. So we're going to get the power level. The power change plus power change. And then it's going to print out power level was modified by. And it's going to be power change and new power level. Okay. And then we're going to override that toString again. And the calling upon the toString method in the parent class. So that again, that super is going to return that wizard with dueling skills. And it's going to give us the dueling skills. Okay. So now we're going to move to our main application. And we're going to call it the Wizarding World. Okay. That's my name there. So the main application class, the Wizarding World, this class contains the main method to demonstrate the behavior of the interface, parent, and child classes. The program will prompt the user for an integer input for each of the 5 magical characters. You will be asked to provide 2 separate integer values. The program prints information to the console of the various types, and after the spell power calculation and power level modification, the program prints the updated details for each character. Okay. So we're going to basically really do those, show how inheriting polymorphism works here as well. Again, we're going to do that array list and that scanner. So we're going to do the public class within world, public static void main strings and args. We're going to do the scanner equals new scanner because we want those inputs. But we're going to move to, we're going to initiate multiple objects of the child classes. So we're going to create our witches and wizards. So we have witch 1 equals new witch, Hermione Granger, Gryffindor 85 and 90 power potion proficiency 95. We're gonna have a wizard, and our first wizard equals new wizard is Harry Potter, of course, from the House of Gryffindor. Power level 90, dueling skills 99. We're gonna have a second witch, new witch object. So Luna Lovegood, she's gonna be from Ravenclaw, 70 for power level and potion proficiency 80. Our second wizard is going to be Ron Weasley from Gryffindor, power level 75. So I have one more witch, which is witch 3. It's going to be Ginny Weasley in Gryffindor, power level 80 and potion proficiency 90. Okay, and these objects to an array that we use the parent class as its type. So we're going to pick that new array. Have that magical beings.add. I'm going to add all that witches and our wizards that we have here. Then we're going to print out the information for each object in the array. So it's going to print out the magical inhabitants of Hogwarts. It's going to display initial information for all magical beings. And then we're going to have like a little separation for it. Then we're going to go to ask the user to perform each of the overwritten methods. And it's going to print out performing spells and modifications for. And it's going to get the name. It's going to call calculating spell power and get the user input. We're going to have that printout statement, enter a difficulty for a new spell 1 through 10, where the user is going to put it in. And it's going to calculate. So we're calling it here, and then we're going to do that scanner, the input. Then we're going to call and modify power level and get the user input. Again, those are those methods that we are basically writing that we have. Those custom methods that we made in our parent class that we overrid for our witch and wizard. And then last, we're going to print the final result after modification. And then we're calling upon a toString again right here. So if we were to run this down here, I bring it up so we can see it a little bit better. So it says the magical inhabitants of Hogwarts. So explain in initial information. So it gives us all the information of each wand wielder. For all our wand wielders. So name, Hermione Ginger, House, Gryffindor, the power level, which has potion proficiency of 95. Harry Potter, House, Gryffindor, power level, wizard with dueling skills 99. The wand wielder, Luna Lovegood, House of Ravenclaw, power level 7, witch with potion proficiency 80. Ron Weasley, also wand wielder, House equal Gryffindor, power level 75, with dueling skills of 85. And last but not least, Ginny Weasley, House Gryffindor, power level 80, which with potion proficiency 90. And see, we are all displaying that wand builder. Which is here. All right. So again, like I said, we did that scanner so we could input some things. So we're going to enter for a new spell. 10. And this is going to be for Hermione. She was the first one that we did. So she's coming in. And it says the spell power for Hermione Granger is calculated to be 130.0. Enter a value to modify their power level. So we can add or subtract. So we could say -5. So Hermione's power level is modified by -5. New power level 80. Final state for after modification. Wand wielder Hermione. And it's going to give out that what we have for those two strings. House Gryffindor 80 and potion proficiency 95. So I hope this showed a good show of polymorphism and inheritance. Again, we inherited the the methods from wand wielder to witch and wizard, and then each witch and wizard use those custom methods to in their own way to have their own outputs to it. So they basically were doing the same way in their own unique way. And we instantiated those here in our app. Thank you.